Welcome to Camtasia Studio 7. If you're new to Camtasia Studio and you want to get started quickly, you're in the right place. We encourage you to watch this 5-minute video to learn the basics of using the editor, including how to navigate the timeline, make some basic edits, and add special effects. The preview window is where you see the video during playback. The playback controls are located under the preview window. In fact, the video you're watching in the preview window is a sample project playing directly from the timeline you see below. After you watch this video, we hope you take some time to practice what you've learned using the content on the timeline. So let's start with the timeline. This is where you assemble and edit your videos. At the top of the timeline, tick marks represent time in terms of minutes and seconds. When building a video, you'll work in a horizontal manner, beginning from the left and moving sequentially through time towards the right. To make precise cuts and selection, use the zoom slider to magnify the view of the timeline. And when adding elements to your video, such as a call-out or audio clips, these are placed on different tracks. Tracks are created automatically, when you need them, when elements are added to the timeline. So depending on your video, you may be working with several tracks at one time. To change the position of an element on the timeline, just drag it. To change the length of an element, drag the edges in either direction. An important part of the timeline is the playhead. The playhead moves the timeline and indicates the current frame displayed in the preview window. To view your video, click play in the preview window. Notice how the video and the timeline's playhead stay in sync? Click anywhere on the timeline and the playhead moves to that point. The green section of the playhead is called the in point. Click and drag the in point to make the beginning of a selection. The red section of the playhead is called the out point. Just click and drag the out point to make the end of a selection. To bring the sections of the playhead back together, double-click the gray playhead. To split a video clip, position the playhead at the desired location and click the split button. And if you want to remove a portion of your video, make a selection with the in and out points, then click the cut button. If you make a mistake while editing, click the undo button. Next, we'll look at the clip bin and the library. The clip bin holds recordings, audio files, images, and title slides being used in the project you're currently working on. Then there's the library. It stores video clips, intros, callouts, title slides, and other elements that you want to use from project to project. The library is also pre-populated with professional animations, music, sound effects, and other content you can use in your video for free. To add your own clips or video sequences to the library, make a selection on the timeline, right-click, and choose Add to Library. To include clips and other elements in your video, drag them from the clip bin or library and drop them onto the timeline. The tabs located above the timeline are task pages used for adding and editing special effects. You can add callouts to emphasize a key point. You can insert a transition between clips for a professional look. Apply zoom and pan effects to focus on important details. And draw attention to the cursor by changing the color, size, and more. If you double-click an element on a track, the playhead moves to the beginning of that element, and its task page opens, allowing you to make edits to that element. So we've shown you a few ways you can navigate and edit your video, but how do you get content into your video? Well, to make a new screen recording, click the Record Screen button. If you already have an audio or video recording to use, click the Import Media button. When you've made edits and added effects to your video and you're ready to share it, you need to produce the project to create a shareable video. Click the Produce and Share button, step through the wizard, and Camtasia Studio creates a viewer-friendly, shareable MP4 file ready to upload to screencast.com,
Hello.
your blog, or a website.
Pat's Boatyard, the #1
Well,
boatyard
it's time
in
for you to
Texas,
try Camtasia Studio
America's
out for
fastest
yourself
growing
using the
boating
content
companies.
on the timeline.
My name is Patrick George Meehan Jr.,
The help
President
file
of
in
Pat's Boat
Camtasia
Yard,
Studio
and I'll be
will help
leading
you
you through
use
this
each of the
presentation.
Camtasia Studio
First,
features and
I'll go over a general
applications.
outline on the topics of Pat's Boat
The
Yard.
Learning Center on TechSmith.com has
First, I would
in-depth
like to give a
video
brief history on
tutorials
Pat's
and
Boat
other
Yard.
sample projects
Then,
to
I'll
download
talk about
and
the company
practice
today,
with.
our
So we hope
services,
you
and the
enjoy
products that we
Camtasia
have to offer.
Studio. And happy
Next, I'll discuss
screencasting!
Pat's business ventures, including our 2011 revenues and our future business goals. Then, I'll discuss our new advertising campaign, including our new logo and our 2 brand new TV and internet commercials. Following this, I'll give a quick review on our brand new company website and conclude with a brief summary. The history of Pat's Boat Yard. Pat's Boat Yard was founded in 1901 by Longfellow Pat, my great-great-great-grandfather. Longfellow was a long-time resident of Texas and a miner. He spent his entire life saving up money so that he could buy a boat, but when he finally had the money, there was nobody around to sell him a boat. Now, Longfellow firmly believed the boating industry was severely disproportionate in the United States. Families living on the coast had numerous opportunities to enjoy the luxury of a boat, while people from the middle of Texas had nothing more than tumbleweeds and sand. So, with a pitchfork and his trusty donkey Harold, Longfellow ventured out into the middle of Texas to help establish Texas's first ever boatyard, revolutionizing the boating industry. Over 100 years later, today, Pat's Boat Yard has established itself as not only the leading and largest boatyard in the middle of Texas, but in the entire center of this country as well. Our company offers numerous services to its customers, including boat sales, both new and used, through us and through our competitors for boats such as sailboats, power boats, speed boats, super crazy dolphin submarine boats, and yachts. We also offer boat and engine repairs for all types of boats and all types of engines. We have docking available on land and in water. We have winter storage options available, and much, much more. Pat's Boat Yard is a leading company of professionals, educated and skilled in every area of the boating industry. All our staff are trained and educated by professionals from every boat, engine, and engine maker in the world. Basically meaning, if we need to have somebody to know how to work on a Yamaha engine, we are having our guy educated at the Yamaha engineering plant in Japan. So our guys know exactly what they need to do and how to do it. So we can firmly say there's no problem that Pat's Boat Yard cannot fix. Now, some of you might be thinking, how can a boatyard in the middle of Texas possibly make any money? Allow me to show you through the spreadsheet. In 2011, Pat's Boat Yard achieved great success. As can be seen here in red, we had a total profit of over $18.5 million. We can take a look at how we got to this number by the information made available in the spreadsheet. Most of the company's expenses came from buying materials and paying the salaries of our employees. And as you can see, over the course of 4 quarters or 1 year, the cost of inventory and supplies was generally the same. Now, employee salaries increased after the first quarter, but remained the same after that. In total, for the year, the total number of expenses that Pat's Boat Yard had to pay was $20,500,000. Now, as far as revenues are concerned, Pat's Boat Yard makes majority of its revenues through boat and part sales. Across the board, through the 4 quarters, you can see that there was a steady increase in the amount of money made through boat and part sales. The same increase was seen in boat services as well. In total, Pat's Boat Yard over the course of a year made $40,250,000. Now, we were able to get to our total profit by taking the amount of the total revenue, $40 million, and subtracting it from the amount of our total expenses of $20,500,000, and then taking into account Texas state taxes of 6.25%, which rounded out to a number of about $1,225,000. Pat's was able to get a total net profit of $18,515,625 for the year of 2011. A very successful year for Pat's Boat Yard. Now, some of the future business goals that Pat's is looking into, our primary one, is expansion. Now, Pat's Boat Yard has been at the same location for the past 100 years. But in the next 10 years, Pat's wants to expand to at least 2 more locations. True to our beliefs, we'd like to establish yards in other areas of the world with lack of boating availability. Our top choices would include somewhere in the middle of the Sahara Desert or somewhere in the middle of Denver, Colorado. Our second future business goal is corporate takeover. For the next 20 years, Pat's Boat Yard will seek to dominate the boating industry in every major landlocked location in America and globally. Through our continued success, we plan to use our future revenues to hopefully do this. Now I would like to have the opportunity to talk about our 2012 advertising campaign. In 2011, actor Neil Patrick Harris was hired on the Pat's Boatyard staff as our head of marketing to boost our advertising campaign. Mr. Patrick and his committee were successful in creating a new logo for our company, a television advertisement, and an online advertisement for our company. Let's take a look. As stated before, this commercial clearly highlights the different varieties of boats that Pat's has to offer. Now, let's take a look at our online animated commercial. As you can see, this commercial is interactive to the person who's watching it. The person can decide whether or not they want to continue seeing the commercial about Pat's Boatyard, or whether or not they want to skip it. The zombie seems very impressed. Now let's talk about a bit of our company logo. Mr. Neil Patrick Harris personally designed our company's logo. Mr. Harris goes by a simple philosophy that simple equals awesome. Therefore, a simple logo equals an awesome logo. So we stuck to simplicity, and our logo is thus. Pat's Boatyard, simply with a prop in the middle. Now I'd like to talk about our new website. Our company has also just recently released its brand new website to the public. The website is available to provide our customers with information about our services and how to get in contact with us. It also holds several relevant links to boating sites. Here is a brief outline of the website. Our company's logo is listed at the top, followed by a picture of a boatyard and a brief explanation on what Pat's Boatyard is. Here at the bottom, there are 3 links to various boating websites, one on props, one on yachts, and one on discovering boating. At the bottom is a link that will take you to our contacts page. On our contacts page, we have both of our advertisements readily available to anybody to see. Also, it gives general company information, including President Patrick Meehan, Vice President Andrew Jesse, our address, phone number, email, and hours of operations. In conclusion, Pat's Boatyard is on its way to becoming one of the most powerful boating businesses, not only in the United States, but the world as well. Pat's is taking a unique opportunity in taking over a field that has been largely ignored, middle of nowhere boating, by everyone else, and this is just the start. Pat's will continue to use strategic methods of business to get on top of our competitors. Through continued use of tools like the website and our commercials, Pat's will continue to be awesome and successful. Thank you.